Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ozzymitsu and welcome back to my channel. My friends and I were talking about Pokémon theories, and one thing we were all getting pretty heated about is whether or not specific theories held any substance. I then thought it would make for a really great video idea discussing some of the Pokémon theories that have been categorically debunked. When I say debunked, I either mean there is enough evidence to present a strong enough argument to say such a theory is untrue, or the holes in the theory outweigh the legitimacy of it, or simply put, it has canonically been exposed as false. However, because I couldn't tackle this video all on my own, coupled with the fact I haven't done a collaborative video in over a year, what better way than to bring the collaborative connoisseur onto my channel, none other than the Pokemon Pokedan.
Right, I don't do that many collabs to be classified as a collaborative connoisseur.
I know, but you've gotta love the alliteration, right?
Sure. Anyway, if it wasn't already obvious, this is a two-part collaboration. Over on my channel, we discussed 5 Pokemon theories that have actually been proven. So after you're done watching this, why not go and check that out?
Before we commence, I also want to emphasise this isn't a ranked list. Dan and I just picked 5 of our favourite theories that we felt had been debunked. So if there are any theories you feel should have been mentioned in this video, please let me know by dropping a comment down below, because the chances are I either forgot about it completely, or I didn't personally feel it met the criteria to fit in with the narrative of this video.
Can we please just get on with the video? I'm super excited to get started.
Certainly Dan, we're going to get this video underway with a personal favourite theory of mine. This theory claims that the Striaton City gym leaders, Silent, Chili and Cress.
Ugh.
As I was saying, the theory is that the Striaton City gym leaders are the Shadow Triad. The reason this theory has been mentioned in this list is because there's plenty of evidence to present the theory as false, as opposed to convincing someone with the proof that's out there that it holds any substance. Let's quickly discuss the evidence that makes the theory appear plausible. Firstly, the most obvious factor being that both groups are a trio, who also appear to be of similar age and are all male. Secondly, the reason this theory was thought to be true is because when all the gym leaders come together in N's castle to battle Team Plasma Sages, the Striaton City gym leaders were nowhere to be seen. However, upon the release of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, the legitimacy of this theory was torn to pieces. There was this feature in these games called a memory link, which allowed you to sync your game with either of the original Black and White games. Part of the feature allowed you to delve into certain flashbacks, and the one I wish to draw your attention to is the one concerning the Striaton City gym leaders. The flashback explains they weren't able to make it to N's castle in time for the showdown. Additionally, in this flashback, the Shadow Triad actually appear whilst the gym leaders are on the scene simultaneously, who are then challenged to a battle. Therefore, it cannot be disputed that the Striaton City gym leaders and the Shadow Triad are 2 different groups of people.
Honestly, Ozzy, before Black 2 and White 2 were released, I actually believed the theory. Can you blame a guy? It just made sense.
Not at all, Dan. It's understandable. Hey, do you want to share with the viewers another theory we believe to be false, please?
Heck yeah, it's actually a theory I've always disliked. To be honest, I don't even like calling it a theory because it's that stupid. But I can say with absolute certainty that it deserved a mention in this video. It was the theory which stated that Psyduck and Golduck had their names switched. It was theorized that due to Psyduck taking on more of a golden or yellowish look, it was supposed to be named Golduck. And because Golduck can learn psychic type moves, it should be named Psyduck. However, the reason this theory holds no substance is down to a number of different reasons. Firstly, although Golduck can learn psychic type moves, a quick Bulbapedia search will tell you that Psyduck can also learn a lot of the same psychic type moves through level up and TM. Additionally, whilst Golduck itself isn't gold, gold is often used in the Pokemon canon to represent the psychic type. For example, the gummy variety loved by psychic types is called the Gold Gummy. As well as this, upon beating Serena's psychic type gym, you are awarded the Marsh badge, which in Japanese is called the Gold badge. So, there you have it. The colours really don't matter that much, and anyone who disagrees, shut up.
Not to mention, Psyduck's Pokédex entry talks about its psychic power. Oh, and we're getting sidetracked. Another theory Dan and I believe have been debunked is about a great Pokemon war. There's a theory floating around the interwebs that paints a horrific history of the Pokemon world. Many players have noted that in Pokémon Red and Blue there is a large absence of middle-aged men. There were plenty of elderly men and women in the world, and many middle-aged women like the player's mom and Nurse Joy. However, it lacked much of a middle-aged male population. What about the player's father? or your rival's father. Some Pokemons have theorized that most of the men in the Kanto region participated in the Rage of War. Lieutenant Surge mentions being a survivor of some sort of brutal war that almost took his life. Other trainers in the gym were once soldiers in some sort of army, which presumably fought in that same war. Some fans believe that this war was the cause of the lack of adult men, claiming that all of them had been killed in this battle. The whole premise of this theory is reliant on one factor and one factor alone, that there is a lack of middle-aged men in this region. However, there are quite a number of men who fit this criteria, who would have at least been old enough to fight in a war, for example Giovanni, possibly Brock, most of the Rocket Grunts, Lance, Bruno, Koga, and the aforementioned Lieutenant Surge. I understand it can be argued that some of these men could have been exempt. For example, Giovanni is basically a criminal who potentially got away with not fighting in the war, and by extension his grunts, as they have a mafia-like status. However, the war Lieutenant Surge was referring to doesn't necessarily mean it took place in Kanto. Lieutenant Surge is known to be an American soldier, whilst the Kanto region is based on the real Kanto region, you know, the largest island in Japan. It just wouldn't make sense for Lieutenant Surge to be fighting a war for Japan. I feel the bare bones of this theory relies solely on the factor of the absence of men who would have been able to fight in this war, and without it, it kinda falls apart, hence why I felt it would be suitable to include this theory on this list.
Your theory debunk may be treading on thin ice, but how do you think a lot of Pokemon fans felt when they discovered that the theory that the Eeveelutions were reincarnated as the legendary beasts was false? The theory derives from the fact that there was a fire in the Brass Tower in Ecruteak City. It was confirmed that 3 Pokemon died in this fire. Ho-Oh resurrected these Pokemon and they became what we now know as the legendary beasts. Pokemon fans believed that because of their designs looking somewhat similar to the Kanto Eeveelutions, the Pokemon that died in this fire were in fact Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon. As Ho-Oh gave them new life, they became stronger versions of their previous forms. Evidence backing this up is that each legendary beast shares the same typing as their supposed Eeveelution counterparts. Jolteon and Raikou being electric types, Flareon and Entei being fire types, and finally, Vaporeon and Suicune being water types. Additionally, each of the legendary beasts possessed the hidden ability of the Eeveelution it was believed to once be. Entei's hidden ability is Flash Fire, just like Flareon's regular ability, Raikou possesses Volt Absorb, and Suicune has Water Absorb. If it wasn't for a specific piece of evidence that I'm about to present, this would have been put on my list because the evidence here is quite compelling. And for the longest time, I would have donated my heart to defend this theory. I now refer to Pokemon Generations Episode 6, The Reawakening. In this episode, Eugene is narrating and he stated that 3 unnamed Pokemon perished in this fire. So we definitely know he is referring to the same incident. Not to mention, the location is exactly the same. However, when they showed the silhouettes of these Pokemon, they did not resemble the Eeveelutions at all.
Oh man, honestly, I was convinced this theory was true.
As was I. Although there is a lot of compelling evidence supporting the theory, unfortunately this episode of Pokemon Generations categorically and canonically debunks this theory, which is why we've included it on this list.
Finally, a theory that Dan and I wanted to include on this list is that Gengar is Clefable's shadow. This theory is exactly what it says on the tin. Through trademarking and beta art, it was revealed that Clefable and Gengar were rumoured to be one of the earliest Pokemon made. The premise of this theory relies on 3 main factors. Number 1, Gengar appears after Clefable on the Kanto Pokédex, despite being one of the earlier Pokemon designs. I'll talk about why this point is complete rubbish in one moment. Number 2, Gengar is known as the Shadow Pokemon. When you look at the 2 Pokemon's characteristics, some fans classify this as solidifying this shadow theory. Clefable stands at a height of 4'3" or 1.3 meters, whilst Gengar stands at a height of 4'11" or 1.5 meters. It is theorized that Gengar is Clefable's shadow because shadows of something tend to be slightly taller than the object or being casting it. Additionally, their body shapes are almost identical, with the main differences being Clefable has a curl for its hair and tail, whilst Gengar has spikes. Number 3. Prior to Generation 6, Clefable was a normal type, whilst Gengar is a ghost type. Because their stab attacks are immune to one another, Pokéfans had theorised that Gengar is Clefable's shadow because they can't hit one another, taking the idea that if you try and hit your shadow, other than looking like a complete idiot, you wouldn't be able to inflict any damage on it. The reason the whole premise of this theory is a bunch of rubbish is thanks to Generation 6 and 7. In Generation 6, Clefable was rightfully retyped as a fairy type, meaning it no longer takes no effect from ghost type moves. It is neutral damage. Secondly, the fact that Gengar appears later than Clefable in the Kanto Dex is complete nonsense. Rhydon has been confirmed by Sugimori to be the first Pokemon, but on the Pokédex it's placed at number 112. Therefore, regardless of whether Gengar is a product of Clefable's shadow, it appearing after Clefable on the Pokédex holds absolutely no substance. Moreover, in Generation 7, I wish to direct your attention to Gengar's Pokédex entry in Pokémon Moon. It apparently wishes for a travelling companion. Since it was once human itself, it tries to create one by taking the lives of other humans. This categorically proves that Gengar isn't Clefable's shadow because it used to be human, and it just simply wouldn't make sense that it would evolve into another Pokemon shadow. So whilst this theory was partially correct, I'm going to have to put this on the debunked list. And there you have it, those are 5 of the theories Dan and I have attempted to present to you as either being proven false, or the evidence heavily leaning towards questioning their legitimacy.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a big thumbs up as that really helps us out. And if you haven't already, come on over to my channel where Ozzy and I discuss 5 theories we believe that have been proven correct, or at least have a lot of evidence suggesting they are true.
That's right, I had a lot of fun working on that video, but if you're too lazy to locate Dan's channel, I have placed a link to his video which should appear on the iCard on the top right hand corner of your screen. I also want to thank Dan for helping me out with this video. I really couldn't have done it without him, so please show your support by subscribing to his channel too. But of course, if you haven't subscribed to me, please do so you never miss a video from me. But with all of that being said, I'll see you guys very soon.